I've died 1,000 deaths, only to be born again. And for every battle I lost, I conjured 1,000 wins. Lovers love me, haters hate, that story never ends. But I leave them heaving on their knees while I steady ascend. I'm unstoppable, bitch. You ready? Let's get it. 1, 2, 3. Every day I hear I got something that you need. That tea that I bring. Every day is guaranteed to give you what you need. That tea that I bring. Every day I'm qualified to help you reach your dreams with that tea that I bring. Every day respect is all I ask and what I need when I bring you that tea. Every day
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Tarot, or shall I say I am Everyday Tarot, where we read everyday tarot for extraordinary people living extraordinary lives, okay? And this is your girl Sage, aka Sage the Urban Witch. Welcome to my second channel, okay? This channel, you guys, is dedicated to the Scorpios, okay? So shout out to all of my fellow Scorpios out there, okay? Today's reading, you guys, my fellow Scorpies, today's reading is going to be on these people hate that every time they attack you, you get stronger, okay? So I'm tapping into the Ethos Collective, my Scorpios, and what I am seeing and what I'm hearing in the spirit is that you guys have people that just will not leave you alone, okay? For whatever reason. There are a variety of reasons, okay, that we're going to tap into some of them today, okay? But, you know, they just cannot seem to get over the fact that every time they attack you, you get stronger. And that is the true nature of a Scorpio, okay? For every death cycle that we go through, there is a rebirth, okay? So you guys don't just die and give up and, you know, give out, okay? You resurrect, okay? You go through a metamorphosis, a transformation, okay? A reset, if you will, okay? And they cannot understand for the life of them why they cannot take you out. Because a lot of them, Scorpio, they feel as though you are outnumbered, okay? Some of you guys have gotten yourself pulled into a spiritual war, pulled into some type of very diabolical and nefarious agenda that you didn't sign up for. For some of you guys, you have karmic, janky relatives that signed you up to be in some type of program to offer you up as a sacrifice. Some of you to be offered up as a sacrifice for the music industry. Some of you guys for the sports industry, for the Hollywood movie industry. I'm also hearing, excuse me, I'm also hearing even ballet, okay, even like, you know, Broadway and things of that nature. And then others of you have toxic family members that offered you up as a sacrifice simply so that they would not have to get up off of their ass and work, okay? Come through spirit, so that they would have money to pay the bills and not have to exert any energy, any effort. Some of them, they offered you up as a sacrifice because they wanted to destiny swap with you. So a lot of you guys, you fellow Scorpios out there, you have been pulled into wars, okay? Witch wars, family wars, wars with people in the industry, wars with people in your community. I'm hearing neighbor harassment, gang stalking, all types of diabolical things. But despite it all and through it all, dear one, you guys have come out on top, okay? And these people cannot understand, you know, they're like, how many lives do you have, okay? Who is helping you? Who is assisting you? How do you know all of this stuff? Because a lot of them, you know, they think that they're using, you know, magic that is from, you know, the schools, the mystery schools, and that, you know, you have to be, I'm hearing jumped in, you have to be, you know, sworn in, you have to be, you know, initiated in, if you will, to know these type of secrets, these type of, you know, sorcery, magic, and divination and things of that nature, soul swapping and energy harvesting, all of these diabolical things that they do. They're thinking that, you don't know this type of information unless you're on their team, unless you are initiated. Here it is, Scorpio, you know these things and more. And I'm hearing from Spirit, this is because you were not sworn into it, you were born into it, which makes you more powerful. Okay, yeah, you have out-trumped these losers. So let's get into Scorpio just a little bit. Who are these people that hate that every time they attack you spiritually, verbally, energetically, astrally, they try to hit you financially or on the, in the workplace, how is it that, you keep surviving, you keep getting stronger? Who are these people that want to know these answers? Okay. I pulled 3 cards, you guys. I have the King of Cups in reverse. I have the 5 of Cups in reverse. A lot of reversals. I'm hearing reverse the curse. Yeah. And then we have the 4 of Wands. Okay. So I'm hearing from Spirit, first up initially, this could be these people, could be one particular person and they have a group of people that they work with, like a family or friends or some type of clique or some type of janky coven that they put together that is a combination of a mother or uncle, a bestie, a lover, or, a side piece or a baby mama, some type of janky coven that they have galvanized together. This person, dear one, they're attacking you because you have rejected them. You have rejected a very diabolical, nefarious offer. Some of them, you rejected their offer to be a part of their whole harem. Okay. You said, no, I don't want that. Throw that back. That's whack. Okay. And you would be right. Okay. Some of you guys, you saw through this person and you saw that they were all talking, no action. You saw that they were operating out of like smoke and mirrors. Okay. What they were presenting to the public and what they were presenting to you, dear one, was really not what it was. Okay. So, a lot of fake flexing and things of that nature. Some of you guys, you discover that this person is an alcoholic. Okay. You discover that this person is just all about, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Okay. They have no stability. They have no security. They fly by the seat of their pants. They live for tomorrow. Live for today, not for tomorrow. It's like, they are in this perpetual Peter Pan cycle. They don't want to grow up and they think that it's cool. Some of them have really outgrown their years of youth. Okay, so we're talking people that are over the age of 25, some of them over the age of 35, and yet they're still acting like that varsity football player in high school, or they're still acting like the wannabe jock. Okay, the frat boy. They're still acting like they're in high school trying to get the girl or trying to get the guy, or for some of them, dear one, trying to get both. Okay, because they're very fluid. Yeah. But, they're a Knight of Cups in reverse. So, they're very emotionally unavailable. They like to play mind games. They like to play with people's hearts and people's emotions because they get off on it. They want people to fight over them. They want for people to compete for them. And they really aren't worth a good goddamn for people to compete with them for in the first place, dear one. So, you just canceled them out. You just said no. You just saw through the smoke and mirrors and saw that, it wasn't about what they were driving, what they were wearing, or what they were saying, that because at the core of who they are, they're trash. At the core of who they are, they're very immature. At the core of who they are emotionally abusive, and they come with a lot of vices, a lot of addictions and afflictions that, is above your pay grade, Scorpio, that you just don't have time for. A lot of you guys have outgrown certain addictions and afflictions and vices that you guys, have gone through. We all have a story to tell. We all have a journey. But, you were tired of running into people that think that just because you used to do it, you're supposed to still be down with it. And you were like, no, there's a such thing as evolving. There's a such thing as maturing. There's a such thing as ascending. Bruh, sis, you ought to try it sometime, okay? Because, that issue on ain't with it, okay? So, this person, together with a group of people, they have been attacking you. For some of you guys, they have been verbally attacking you, okay? For others of you guys, they have been attacking you online, cyber lurking, cyber stalking, trolling, things of that nature, evil eyeing your platform, trying to, throw janky magic and juju towards your money, okay, your stability and security, okay, towards your love life, your relationships, okay, because as many people as this person has around them and in their whole harem, they're still lonely. You know how they say you can be in a room full of people but still be lonely because those people, they're soulless, or you guys have no connection with those people, so they're just essentially just vessels, okay? But there's no connection, so there's nothing worse than being lonely when you're surrounded by a group of people. That's how this person is. So for some of you guys, I'm picking up on the energy that this person is in the public eye in some way, shape, or form. They are somewhere where they may be popular in their community, in their town. For some of them, they could be popular online. They could be a social media influencer. And for others of them, they could be in a public eye in terms of being in one particular industry, so to speak, music, entertainment, podcasting, Hollywood, acting, something of the sort. I'm hearing indie podcast, indie acting. I'm also hearing mainstream communications, DJ, okay, radio host, okay, public broadcast, television. So all of those type of things are coming up, okay? Yeah, so this person, they think that you're supposed to fawn over them, Scorpio, because they have a bunch of randoms. They have a bunch of groupies that fawn over them, okay? And you're just not with the ish that they're with, okay? So they have been attacking you. They have been trying to verbally attack you. And if this person is in a niche field or industry that you yourself is in, or that you're soon to be in, they're definitely trying to, run their mouth and trying to block doors of opportunity for you before you even get the chance to open up those doors, okay? So, they're spilling a lot of lies about you, a lot of rumors, okay, trying to cause people to, turn out of favor with you or not support you, particularly if there's something, dear one, that you have been working on for quite some time and you have built on your own from the ground up, or you have built with your people that have absolutely nothing to do with their people, because you guys' paths don't cross, okay? They're just trying to find ways, dear one, to ingratiate themselves up into your world, to violate your boundaries, because they want to be a gatekeeper in your life, so that, unless you go through them and they tell you yes, that you cannot get that particular opportunity. But it's a no-go, okay? This is the person, dear one, that is attacking you, and that hates the fact that every time they attack you, you get stronger, okay? This person is also an alcoholic, okay? They suffer from a lot of vices, okay? A lot of addictions, okay? They got the poking addiction, love to poke everybody, okay? And it doesn't matter what gender, okay? They'll poke to the left, they'll poke to the right. And if they're bored that night, they'll poke all night, okay? Yeah, come through, spirit. So, this person is janky. They have no morals. They have no self-discipline. And they're like a walking CDC risk, okay? They're a walking, medication or medical risk, okay? This person will have you hemmed up and have you become a member of the get a shot in your ass at the free clinic crew if you mess around with this person, because, they're just wild. They're just out there for the streets, and they don't care about their body, so they don't care about nobody else's body too, okay? Also, dear one, there could be a group or a person in particular, someone that, is very, very depressed over the fact that, you've turned down multiple offers that they have tried to come at you with. An offer of friendship, you turned that down. An option of, let's just work together and be, workmates, or, we can collab together on business projects and creative endeavors and enterprises. You said nope, okay? Well, the person tried to come at you, well, let's just try to, have no titles. Let's just, let's just be, bosom buddies, and, every night, or every other night or every other weekend, when you get bored, you can come over and we can Netflix and chill. And you said no. Okay. So every type of angle, dear one, that they try to come at you with, you were not down with it. And so this person's very depressed because they feel as though by you rejecting them, because in some way, shape, or form, they put you on a pedestal, Scorpio. So they feel that, by you rejecting them, now they got to go back to the drawing board and they got to figure out who they are. Your no has caused this person to reevaluate their whole total existence. And they're realizing that, the caliber of people that they were around that really blew up their head is really not where it's at, because, they see you as on a higher level, as someone that is above them and someone that they're desperately trying to reach. Okay. The people that they are around are low hanging fruit, but they consider you, Scorpio, to be forbidden fruit. So you're on a higher level, but you're on a level that they can't quite yet obtain. They can't get up to you. Access is denied. And so this person is very depressed. This may also be a person, dear one, that in some way, shape, or form, you may have had some type of conflict with this person. You could have had some type of yo-yo relationship where you go back and forth. And then you just, threw up the towel one day and had enough and just walked away, because you realized that the person was, they love the power struggle. They love the fight. They're like that proverbial pig that loves to wallow in the mud. They love to fight and play in the mud, and you don't. Okay. So you realize that you were stooping down to the level of someone that is akin to a pig that actually enjoys the chaos and the drama and the fighting in the mud. And you said, no, I'm not about this life. I'm not going to continue to throw my pearls to swine. And you said, I'm out. And you left this person, dear one, and they're very, very depressed. Okay. Very sad. Okay. This is also a person, dear one, they got off on engaging in some type of conflict with you because they consider beef and conflict to be love. Okay. This is a person that is very toxic. They're into struggle love. Okay. They think that if a person beats them, if a person curses them out, if a person slashes their tires, I'm hearing, what is her name? I can't think of her name at the moment, but she has this song called I Bust the Windows Out Your Car. I bust the windows out your car. Something. Yeah, come through spirit, old school. The name escapes me, but I'm sure that you guys know who I'm talking about. Okay. Well, that's what this person is into. They're very much so into the drama of it all. They like to fight and then make up, and then fight and make up. It's the high and lows of the adrenaline and the high and lows of the cortisol. It's the rush. Okay. They want to see blood. They want to see tears. They want to see scratches. They want to see bruises. Okay. Very, very toxic. Okay. Very, very ghetto. This is the type of person, dear one, that has been attacking you, and they're very upset, and they hate the fact that every time they attack you, you get stronger, because this person, dear one, they wanted you to remain in their loop of dysfunction. Okay. This is someone that have definitely grown up in a household of dysfunction where they perhaps saw their parents fighting, and neither one of the parents had the common sense to lead. They just continued the perpetual cycle of abuse, and they did so in front of this person and perhaps in front of this other person's siblings. And now they think it's normal. They have equated abuse and control and possession and toxicity with love. Okay. And they have also turned it into a sexual kink. Okay. So this is the type of person, Scorpio, come through spirit, where at the end of the day, if they want to have their way with you, or they get bored and they want to test your love, they'll try to choke you out. They'll punch you in the eye and try to choke you out, because now they want to do a makeup love session with you, and wipe away your tears, and buy you some of that MAC makeup so that you can go and cover up that black eye, that bruise that they just gave you, or something very toxic, very janky like that. Okay. That's this person. That's this type of person. They get off on, choking you to the point of you passing out. That's when they get off. Okay. They get off on, pulling your arms behind your back while they're trying to restrain you from getting away, to the point where they're about to snap your elbow or your arm off, to the point where you're screaming for pain. They get off on that. Okay. This person is very, very sick. This would be the type of person where, they will literally try to, fight you and drag you in the kitchen and, push your head down in water and see you struggling and choking, to the point where you're drowning. This person gets off on that. So this is a very, very sick individual. And I'm hearing that this person has some type of attachments on them, okay? Some type of incubus, succubus spirits. And a lot of them, they have attachments that enter into their vessel during some type of trauma that happened to them in childhood. And they have turned this trauma into a kink. So this person is damaged. They're damaged goods, okay? And you, Scorpio, you dear one, you realize this right away, and this person didn't get an opportunity to really stick their claws into you the way that they wanted to, so they're very upset, okay? Then the energy that I'm picking up on Scorpio, okay, before I close it out, 4 of Wands. So there is someone, they're very hateful, that every time they attack you, you get stronger because of the fact that you have some type of stability, you have some type of supportive family system, okay? It doesn't have to be a big family, okay? Some of you guys, it could just be your spouse, yourself, and your babies, or a baby, or you could have animal babies, or, it is you, it's him, it's some of you all's in-laws, is you, is her, is some of you all's in-laws, and some of your best friends that are tried and true. But whatever your support system, whatever your family system looks like to you, dear one, or to them, or to anyone else, it is very stable. You come across as very stable and secure, okay? Also, I'm hearing access is denied. So some of you guys, this person keeps attacking you, but it's not working. You keep getting stronger because you have such a powerful support system and loving people that back you up. Also, you could definitely be at a distance from this person, a distance in terms of region, geographic location. Okay, I just heard GPS. This person, they would love to be able to track you, but they simply don't know where you are. Okay, so you guys are very much so protected, and you're shielded, and you're cloaked from this person. Your home is sacred. Your home is safe. Okay, there's love in the home. There's not yelling and dysfunction and fighting and assaults and violations. None of that is going on in your home, okay? Your home is very quiet, it's very stable, or if it's loud, it's filled with laughter, it's filled with music, it's filled with joy, it's filled with people coming over that love you, that want to, share in your life, okay? And so, by the very definition of how this person grew up, Scorpio, and some of you guys could have grown up in very toxic, dysfunctional homes, but you swore to yourself that you would never repeat that cycle. And a lot of you guys have made good on that promise that you have made and vowed to yourself. And so this person, dear one, whomever they are, and for some of you guys, this could be even a toxic family member that thought that just because you grew up with them in a toxic dynamic, that you would continue that generational curse, and you broke it. And some of you guys broke it by removing yourself away from that toxic family and away from that toxic relationship, okay? And you broke that cycle, and you said that, all of this karmic foolishness ends with me. My children will not know this type of toxicity where when they come home, they're hearing their parents screaming and yelling, and plates being dropped, and glasses being hurled across the room up against the wall, and all types of foolishness, and police being called, and your father or your mother being dragged out of the house in their underwear. You guys made a vow, come through spirit, that you would never repeat that type of karmic dysfunctional cycle. And there are some of you all's relatives, some of you guys, this could be a parent, this could be a mother or father, an uncle, a sibling even, that is still continuing that cycle, okay? Or even if they're too old to continue to fight and, do all that rah-rah like they used to do, it's still in their mind. Their mind is still sick. They still don't understand the difference between high vibrational love and low. They still don't understand the difference between abuse and love, or possession and control and love, and freedom. They don't understand none of that. So you're like an alien to this person. And because you're so different from how you were raised, and because you're so different from these people, they feel offended by your healing, Scorpio. They feel offended by, your ascension. They feel offended by the things that you have gravitated towards. your definition of the good life, having peace in your home, having security and stability, being able to pay your bills on time, seeing your children happy with a smile on their face, even though they may not get everything that they want, but you value love and peace and togetherness over material things, because there are certain things that money cannot buy. Money can't buy love, it can't buy support, it can't buy peace, it can't buy safety. Come through, Spirit. And so there is someone, dear one, that no matter how much they try to attack you to, break up your happy home, to cause some type of issue or situation, it's not working. The more they attack you, the stronger you get. The more they attack you, the more, you and your family, your spouse, your mate, your boo, the more you guys go to your prayer closet to pray, to, make sure that there's a hedge of protection over you at all times, okay? Over you, over your money, over your jobs, over your home, over your business, over your babies, you're covered, you're protected, you're cloaked from your enemies, okay? All of the things that they hurl at you, the evil eye, is returned to sender. All of the, the verbal lies and assaults and gossip, it's returned back to sender. You guys aren't paying these people any mind, and they hate that because essentially their attacks, they just drop down to the ground or they return back to the sender because they don't belong to you. Your vibration is so high that it cannot stick. Their attacks, their verbal assaults, they're, trying to do things behind the scenes to sabotage and undermine you. There's such a distance spiritually, physically, geographically even. And even in terms of your lifestyle, you can't get caught up in certain situations that they want to get you caught up in because you're not living the type of life that they live, okay? You're not doing the type of things that they do. So, there's no way for them to come at you. All of those doors are closed. There is no way for them to crawl up inside, okay? You're protected and covered like Fort Knox, okay? Is what I'm hearing from Spirit. And you're happy. Yeah. Meanwhile, this person, whoever they are, they're absolutely fake flexing. They could be in a relationship or in a marriage where they're not happy, but it may look good on paper. It looks good to those in the family. It looks good to those in the community. It looks good to those online. Lights, camera, action. But behind closed doors, they hate their ass. The woman hates the man hates the woman, or vice versa, or man, woman. Okay, however the situation is, they hate each other. They're just doing it for show. Some of these individuals, dear one, they hate the fact that the more they attack you, the stronger you get, because they dealing with you and whoever you're with real love versus them, and they represent fake love. So of course, if something hits them, their life, their relationship is going to fall apart because their relationship is not real. It's a relationship, okay? And it's very obvious to those around them for many reasons, and one of them being that if they were really happy, then they wouldn't be so obsessed with worrying about you and what you got going on in the matter of your love life, your money, your career, your business, and anything that you got going on in your part of the world. Scorpio, okay, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. So in a nutshell, Scorpios, these people hate that every time they attack you, you get stronger, you get wiser, you get more resilient, okay? They think that, you're down for the count. Meanwhile, you're resting, you're retweaking, you're pivoting, and then you come right back stronger than you ever were, okay? And it's not a damn thing they can do about it, okay, Scorpio? All right, so that is the tea. So, Scorpio, that said, I'm going to give you guys some signs of who these people could be, because we know you are the Scorpios, okay? Sun, Moon, and Rising, also Venus or Mercury, okay? But they're these people that are, they hate that every time they attack you, you get stronger. They could be a Pisces, Aries, Leo, Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius. They could also be a Scorpio moon, Leo rising, Capricorn rising, Virgo moon. Thank you, Spirit. All right, and I heard the name Tony, Dexter, Troy, Valerie, King, Kingston. Okay, what is this? Travail. Okay, that's an interesting name, Spirit. Thank you. Michael, and Maurice, okay? Those are some names. Also, Nicole. Thank you, Spirit. Those are some names. And Nora. Thank you, Spirit. Those are some names that I pulled from the ethers that I'm hearing, okay? All right. And so, Scorpios, that's that, okay? That is your read for today. And until next time, Scorpios, stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay great. Also, you guys, this is your girl Sage, aka Sage the Urban Witch. I know you guys can probably pick up on my voice because it's one of a kind. I do have a main channel called Sage the Urban Witch on YouTube, so you guys can check out my main channel over there as well. Spread the word, tell all your peeps about me to come and check out this channel and show your girls some support, okay? All right, we in here, okay? We in it to win it. So with that said, Scorpio, see you guys until next time. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay great.